In a quiet American town in Colorado, surrounded by open fields and tall pine trees, lived a young man named Ethan Hayes. At 23, Ethan was kind-hearted and full of dreams bigger than the mountains around him. But for reasons he couldn't explain, life never seemed to work in his favor. Ever since childhood, Ethan believed he was meant for something more, something meaningful, something bigger. But every time he tried to make progress, life pushed him backward. When he worked hard for a promotion at his job, someone else got it. When he tried to start a small online business, it failed before it even began. When he saved up enough money to move to a better city, unexpected bills emptied his bank account. It felt like life was closing every door he knocked on. People around him, his childhood friends, coworkers, even neighbors were settling into their lives, building careers, getting married, buying homes. But Ethan, he felt stuck, left behind, trapped in a loop he couldn't escape. Some nights, he lay awake staring at the ceiling and whispered to himself, "Why is life so hard for me? What am I doing wrong?" He wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless. He wasn't irresponsible. He just didn't understand why life kept pushing him back. One cold evening, after another disappointing day at work, Ethan went for a long walk through the empty streets of his town. The sun had set, streetlights glowed faintly, and the cool air carried the smell of pine trees. That's when he saw Mr. Carter, an old retired carpenter who lived alone near the edge of town. Everyone knew him quiet, wise, a man who had lived a long, interesting life. Mr. Carter was sitting on his porch, carving a piece of wood. He looked up and saw Ethan walking by with tired eyes and heavy shoulders. "Evening, son," the old man said gently. "You look like the world is sitting on your back." Ethan forced a weak smile. "Just going through a lot. Nothing seems to work out." Mr. Carter put down the piece of wood and motioned for him to come closer. "Sit for a minute. Tell me what's going on." At first, Ethan hesitated, but something about the old man's calm voice made him sit down. For the next several minutes, Ethan poured out everything: his failures, his disappointments, his frustration with life, and the constant feeling of being pushed backward no matter how hard he tried. When he finally finished speaking, he sighed deeply and said, "I don't understand, sir. Why does life keep pulling me back? What's the point of all this struggle?" Mr. Carter listened quietly. Then he slowly stood up and said, "Come with me. I want to show you something." He led Ethan inside his small workshop, a cozy place filled with the smell of wood, old tools, and half-finished projects. In the center of the room lay a long wooden board on a work table. The old man picked up a strong bow, the kind used for archery, and handed it to Ethan. "Do you know how this works?" he asked. Ethan nodded. "You pull the string back, and it shoots the arrow forward." Mr. Carter smiled. "Exactly. But let me show you something most people never notice." He placed an arrow on the bow and pulled the string backwards slowly, firmly, deliberately. Ethan watched quietly. "It's being pulled back," he said. "Yes," Mr. Carter replied, "and the farther the bow is pulled back, the stronger the shot will be when it's released." He held the bow stretched for a few seconds and then gently let go. The arrow shot across the workshop and landed perfectly on a target hung on the far wall. The old man turned to Ethan. "Life works exactly like this bow." Ethan looked confused. "What do you mean?" Mr. Carter leaned closer, his voice calm and steady. "When life pulls you back, when it feels like everything is going wrong, when you're being tested over and over again, when nothing goes your way, it is not punishment." He paused, letting the silence soak in. "It is preparation." Ethan listened carefully. "There are two types of people," Mr. Carter continued. "Some people break when life pulls them back. Others rise higher because of it." He walked toward the target and touched the arrow. "The only reason this arrow reached farther is because it was pulled back first." Ethan felt something shift inside his heart. The old man continued, "You are being shaped, son. Life is sharpening you, building your strength, teaching you patience, and preparing you for something bigger than you can imagine right now." He walked back to Ethan and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Delayed blessings aren't denied, they're simply being prepared. Closed doors aren't final. Sometimes life takes everything away. So when the right opportunity comes, you are strong enough, wise enough, and ready enough to receive it." Ethan stood silently, absorbing every word. For the first time in a long time, His struggles didn't feel meaningless. They felt like training. "So all this time life wasn't stopping me?" Ethan whispered. Mr. Carter smiled. "No, Ethan, life was preparing you." That night, Ethan walked home under the cool Colorado sky, but he wasn't the same person anymore. His circumstances hadn't changed, but he had. He no longer looked at setbacks as failure. He saw them as signs, signals that life was getting him ready. Over the next few months, something remarkable happened. Ethan didn't magically get lucky, but he stopped giving up. His failures didn't scare him anymore. They strengthened him. When opportunities didn't work out, he didn't break down. He simply reminded himself, life is pulling me back for a bigger shot. And slowly, everything began to change. He gained more courage, more resilience, more clarity, more purpose. Then one day, a new job opportunity opened in a nearby city, a position he never would have been ready for earlier in his life. And this time, he succeeded. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because all the struggles had prepared him for this moment. Standing on the balcony of his new apartment, looking over the lights of a new city, Ethan whispered, "Now I understand. The setbacks weren't setbacks. They were stepping stones." Moral of the story is, sometimes life pulls you back, not to break you, but to build the strength you need to launch into something bigger. Trust the process. Your breakthrough is on its way. If you believe this story should reach more people, please like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this. Until then, stay grateful, stay strong, and keep moving forward in life.